8:45 a.m. on Tuesday, June 26th. Actually, I'm not sure if that's the date. The year 2023.
Jackie, what are you doing?
I'm miking Brigitte up.
Okay. So fancy. Wow,
I can do
really
it.
fancy.
Can you hold this, please?
She got new gear. Check it out.
I
Check it
did.
out.
So supposedly I don't have to do the clapper anymore. This will sync it up to the video.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So you just have to be careful with that it doesn't fall.
Oh,
It's a magnet too.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Okay, so I'm recording.
Okay. How are the levels because of the noise? Are they?
You'll hit yellow when a car goes by.
Okay. Well, this is much better than nothing, so it's fine.
I mean,
and this is
this definitely captures. We're bringing Boyle Heights to the people. We get the full experience. All we need is an ambulance to ride by, or some kind of like car chase, and you're in it. As long as you're enjoying your taco, your street side taco. That's all that really.
Well, that's a great way to segue into welcome back to another episode of When Food and Life Meet Brigitte Maldonado. I brought you all her to you, if that makes sense. I brought her to you. There we go. I brought her to you because we've been friends for a very long time, since we were like in middle school.
Very long, yeah.
Very long, but
still had placenta on our faces.
But she actually is like a real like foodie, and what I mean by that is that she's managed restaurants her career, and now she's managing a very popular restaurant in LA called
Damian, and we have our taqueria Ditroit.
So why not bring an actual person who actually like knows the education and culture around food in the actual like restaurant industry to Donas and Tortas. And also, she's giving us a tour here today of Boyle Heights.
Which is my home.
Which is her home.
It's also 5 minutes away from the Arts District where Damian and Detroit are, so
there you go. So it's
super
perfect.
Convenient.
But yeah, so thank you so much for coming here today. You know that we're gonna eat a lot of good food that you're gonna introduce us to, but we're also gonna talk about stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about
talking.
You love talking, so this is perfect. We're gonna talk about career,
awesome,
mental health.
Yes.
And we also are both part of the LGBT community.
Yes.
LGBT community.
And it is Pride Month, so what better month to do this?
Why not? Okay, so before we do any of that, we're gonna eat first. The first stop, so we just walked in. Where are we? What are we gonna eat right now?
So we are at Machin, which is part of Milpa Grill. Milpa Grill is a collaboration of, they have a little coffee concept, their pastries, and the tacos.
Oh, they're already here. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Right on time.
Exactly. And this is what we have here. Look at that beauty.
Oh, my
so this is
goodness.
their birria breakfast taco. And I really, truthfully, this is kind of a routine for me. I used to come here like 3 times a week. I kid you not.
Oh my god.
But 3 times a week of brisket and masa really adds up.
So you cut back a little.
Had to control it. And I was saying, like, I really, their tortilla here is phenomenal, and I feel like a taco is truly all about the tortilla hold,
Yeah.
But the fork definitely comes in handy. This is one taco where you kind of need that fork support.
And that egg, I mean, like, do you see that egg?
Yeah, the egg is just so fluffy and creamy. I love that you grabbed the orejas from, I believe it was Sal y Luna. That's their pastry concept that they host inside of Milpa Grill. But the oreja is really just a traditional Mexican pastry that a lot of people would just eat with their cafecito in the morning, some café de la olla.
Yep.
Good morning, Frenchies.
Look at all those Frenchies. Oh my god. Yeah, so I picked this one in particular, la oreja, because that's like my go-to, one of my favorite.
Yes.
Pan dulce.
So, oreja translates to ear.
Here.
This is probably one of the most popular of pastries. And down even on every block of Boyle Heights, you'll see some kind of version of they call them panaderia, which is a pastry shop.
Yes.
All sweet breads for the most part.
I saw a couple walk when I was driving.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh.
some of them will have like another breakfast concept, like a breakfast burrito that they offer,
okay.
or breakfast torta.
Oh.
But Milpa Grill is the best. So
Okay. So shall we?
please, yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
we have our crew today, so we're gonna share this. So
And let me grab another fork so
Yeah,
that
let's
we can
do that. Yeah,
we
that'd
can
be
bring
good.
one over to the other one.
do you see that? I feel like Tiffany, you could do this. You're just a good cook.
Grab one more fork, please.
I feel like you can make this. Yeah, you can replicate this. You're pretty good too, actually. We should do a cook-off between the two of you because you both are like probably some of the best cooks, you know. All right.
We'll do this as if we were in Mexico. We get
Oh.
Being sustainable is very important too. So rather than using more styrofoam, we're gonna split this one in
Oh,
half.
thank you.
There
Dang.
you go.
Okay, so how do you eat it?
So honestly, two ways. You can just go for it as a taco,
Okay.
or you eat it
like
with a
pick at
fork. Yeah.
It's gonna be the lavender or chocolate.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that. Thank you. Which one did you get?
Brown cafe.
Oh.
Just like me.
There's no right way though, you know?
cute.
That's the beauty of a tortilla. You just like use it as your vessel.
Oh.
And yeah.
People underestimate that.
They do.
It's like-
they really do.
Yeah, this is some serious talk right now.
And honestly, even tortillas themselves are having a real moment right now. Like with, clearly we're in Boyle Heights and everywhere we're going to today is Mexican.
Right.
You know, there's never this concept of like, oh, once you've had a taco, you've had them all. No, they're all so different. It's like pizza, you know? You can't really.
Every pizza is trying.
And like pizza, you know, what's one of the most important ingredients in pizza? It's the dough, right?
Oh.
So in Mexican culture, we have our masa, and the preparation of the masa is so important to the rest of the taco. So in our journey today, we'll realize the texture of all the different tortillas.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
We're also drinking. I'm having a lavender horchata,
Yes, and I'm having a Japanese green tea matcha.
and I just had a sip, and it was like this is like candy. Oh my god.
Well,
All right.
Salud. Let's
Salud.
do it.
All right. So you go first.
All right.
So you can teach me how you're gonna.
I should have actually gotten 2 more forks. I'm sorry, I can't count.
You're fine.
But really, if you don't, are you
I don't
okay with
mind.
germs? I'm gonna go.
It's fine. We're gonna get really.
Exactly. I'm taking
Yeah,
a
you're
bite out of
fine.
this, and then whatever falls is
Yeah, I was
kind
gonna
of like.
do this. I'm like, let me help you.
Every time.
Every time, right?
Yeah.
So you don't mind if I just like?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Please.
Please, please, please. All right. Oh my god, look at all the sauce. Okay. All
It's
right.
just so creamy, and then you get that like acidity from the pickled onions cutting down the fat in the brisket. So good.
Oh my god, that sauce? What is that?
So it's an aioli. I want to say it's
Oh
like a
my
chipotle aioli.
Oh yeah.
Because the heat is super soft, but it definitely sneaks up on
Oh
you
my
after
god,
a few
I love
bites.
it. I love it. Well, this is the part where the crew eats, so you can put the camera down now, Tiffany. Blue. All right,
Am I blue?
we're rolling.
Blue. Great.
All right, let's go.
Perfect. So
Wow, I've never had a walkie-talkie on my donuts and tortas like this.
walkie-talkies.
Yeah, we're walking and we're talking.
This is amazing.
This is what we're moving on up.
Did you have microphones before that you hold?
Well, I
or-
had one microphone, and it would like be set down, and you could hear everything. You could hear like the table, like.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
I was like, no, you
okay.
just want to hear the people talking.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah. Okay, that makes
people are
sense.
talking.
I love that. We're talking.
We're walking and talking.
So Cella's right here. Really great like nighttime spot. When I first moved to Boyle Heights, I had heard of them, and the owner, Carissa Hernandez, is part of this group called Regarding Her, which supports female business owners, particularly in the restaurant industry. But she was a part of that group, and then she opened up some other restaurants in Highland Park as well. But I had the pleasure of meeting her at Damian, and just like really loved that she was trying to, she's from Boyle Heights, but also trying to like bring to the younger crowd as well.
Wow.
And this is my favorite view. Like during the sunset,
Look
this is
at
just so beautiful.
this.
This is Mariachi Plaza.
And then here, Orgullo Pride. So how's the Pride scene here in Boyle Heights?
I mean, so it definitely is home of the first all LGBT mariachi, which is mariachi arcoiris.
Yeah, I've heard of that. They're from here?
Yeah, they're from
Shut
here.
up.
So arcoiris is rainbow in Spanish, and they are phenomenal. I've had the pleasure of hosting them, or they have been to a party of ours. Yeah. And no. I mean, again, Mariachi Plaza, known for all the mariachi people will come and gather. We'll take a walk through here after, but we're gonna go to Yaya's right here.
Where is it? Oh, they're literally right there. Yeah. So how did you get into? So you're a Damian. Like, did you always think that you'd end up like in the restaurant business?
No. I au contraire. So I moved to New York because I had studied textiles and clothing. I really wanted to pursue the fashion industry, but growing up in Southern California and growing up in my father's restaurant, ultimately, I would help him peel tomatillos, like portion out salsas. Like he would always task me with the small stuff, and that was just so normal to me, but normal in the way where like I wanted to pursue my own thing. I wanted to do something different. And so me pursuing something different was clothing and textiles. And when I moved to New York, I realized I did not like the culture scene in fashion. It was very cutthroat, like everybody had told me it was going to be, but it just didn't feel right. So at the time, through college, I had been working at the Cheesecake Factory. One of my 3 jobs. And my general manager at the time had moved to New York, so I honestly reached out to him and was like, hey, I'm looking for work, really not happy with the fashion industry. And he hired me as an admin assistant for a restaurant, and honestly, it started from there.
Wow.
It was a beauty.
You never know.
But yes, I've never been here, so
all right, we're gonna go in.
Not sure what to expect, but
I don't
let's do
either.
it.
So let's go.
Sunday morning, you're either having pozole or you're having menudo. Pozole is my personal favorite. It's usually comes with like shredded chicken or beef. And the menudo is chicharron, which is like pork skin. Yeah, so some people love it. Some people, like my sister, loves it. For me, the texture is too chewy. But he asked us earlier if we wanted repollo or lechuga. And I said repollo. It's cabbage versus lettuce. And the cabbage is typically holds better in pozole, where the lettuce will kind of like start to wilt a little faster.
That makes sense.
So when they ask you, always go for the repollo.
Okay, so question: I've recently heard somebody be like, "What the hell? What do you think about cheese and sour cream in pozole?"
Cheese, sour cream, and pozole. So the cheese has to be some kind of Mexican cheese, like something higher salinity. That definitely could get a pass. I typically don't have cheese on my pozole, but I mean, I've seen it done. I mean, I eat panela cheese with beans in like a bean consomme, That's always good, but that holds up nicer too.
Like crumbly?
No, so panela is more like, it almost eats like tofu.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So this is either beef or SRS or the pork?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And here's a...
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So
this one's pork.
Teach them and them how you prepare your pozole.
So the pozole, it's of course with everything you always start with your broth. So in this case, we are working with pork. The beauty of pozole, earlier we were talking about tortillas, right? So to really make a good tortilla, you go through this process called nixtamalization. So you nixtamalize the corn, and what nixtamalizing is soaking corn kernels overnight in lime, not the citrus, but the actual mineral.
Okay.
So this lime breaks down the texture of the corn, and this is what you get, this hominy. So this is basically what the corn looks like before you would put it through a grinder to make your masa for a tortilla. So in this case, we're just enjoying the hominy in our soup, in our caldito. So really from here, you can enjoy it the way you want. These are kind of accoutrements to accompany the pozole. What I like to do is just
tell us how you do it. Just do it.
And honestly, the whole crema thing, like some people really do enjoy crema in their soups.
I do.
And
I like,
yeah,
like,
I mean, there's
creamy.
no wrong, you know, and that's kind of like the thing. It's like we're in this era where like the diner is much more intelligent now, you know, and I think like I would like to say that everybody is a foodie because we all eat, right?
Right.
But I think we all have our
Did you
different,
hear that, everybody? Say that everyone's a foodie?
Everybody's a foodie.
So welcoming.
So in this case, I'm going to go for a little bit of the Boyle first and have that as a base. So we'll just put like this little bed of it on top. And then I love onions, so I'm just going to put a nice healthy amount of onions in there. And then radishes. Not everybody loves radishes. I love radishes. I just eat them by themselves.
Yes.
Great. And then because pork is really fatty, again, in Mexican cuisine, it's all about acid and fat, like cutting down that fattiness with some acidity. So lots of limoncito, nice like.
Did you see the documentary on Netflix? The fat salt.
Which one?
It's called Fat, Salt, Acid, or.
Oh no! I know exactly.
You've never seen it? Oh, you would like so mesh with this gal on it.
I don't know what the heat's like in this one, but depending if I think it's like not spicy enough, you'll add some pepper, and then of course a nice like little avocado slice. You can really do what you will with this. I'm just gonna put mine right on top. And
then what do we got over here?
Tostadas, again, tortillas. So you make your tortilla and you bake it. Some people will fry them, and then you get this beautiful tostada from there. And you can either just like, you know, let it soak a little bit. Sometimes I like my tostada to get a little bit like,
soggy.
yeah, exactly. And then you just go on in.
Do you? So I noticed you leave your lime in there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because I've never seen this.
That is.
I've seen it in drinks, but
no, that's just a Brigitte move. I feel like citrus always has these oils on the skins, and sometimes I like to get those oils in my food too.
Well, today I'm gonna pull a Brigitte.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna leave it in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. So Naoki just helped me serve myself.
So this pork is like so like soft, you can just cut through it and just shreds apart.
Oh, amazing.
And yeah, enjoy.
All right. Thank you. You've never had it here before, right? So this is your first time.
Yeah, that's pozole.
It's good.
I'm gonna go for some of the spice.
Let me know how spicy that is.
Lest we forget.
I usually don't test. I just
Lest
go
we
for it.
forget. I don't know.
Challenge
With
accepted.
that, I don't know. Lest we forget.
My soulmate.
It's fine. It's definitely medium.
Like it's got a kick. All right, so I'm dropping in the lime, y'all, and I'm leaving it there.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Put that set up.
I'm not gonna put that
Your
in.
aguacate.
Got
You
them.
have on your stick too. Is it good to have on your stick?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Pozole is definitely sick food.
Oh, for sure. There we go.
Although I would say
Beautiful.
pho is my favorite sick food.
Don't say that. Okay. I'm gonna try it real quick, and then the crew gets to eat.
Yeah.
Tiffany's like, go now. Tiffany's doing such a great job. This is a very exciting day. I'm here with all my friends, actually, although we do miss Anna. But the people behind the scenes are actually our friends who are actually in the film industry, and they get to share their talent here today. So you're gonna see a really cool episode today. All right, here we go.
I'm so excited.
I want
for
some-
bite. All the momentum. There we go.
I know, I want some of that pork.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
It's rich, but it's not overpowering.
And now I'm gonna have a little taste of that soggy tortilla. Delicious and comforting. Comforting. All right, Peru eats. No, I'm gonna get your reaction. I want to get your reaction.
Okay, wait. We gotta
I'm so glad you're here for this. This is so awesome. I love catching up with you.
Are you really gonna put Tapatio in it? I say don't. Right?
No, I'll save that for later.
Yeah. Although I do want to try this guy.
I've never had this before.
What?
Neither. Yeah.
What?
I mean, I've had like pozole at restaurants, but like not like this.
Oh, this is like how you have it at home.
Yeah. This is gonna be a moment. Look at this. She's making tortillas over here. It is like being at home. You have the open kitchen.
I mean, you grew up literally with your dad's restaurant. Like, I've seen how hard they work. Like, dang.
For sure. They have their own like little shop right here. I don't know what it is they're selling, but they're selling it.
We're all doing the Brigitte.
Oh, yeah.
The lime dunk.
The lime dunk.
The onions. That's what I'm excited about too. I love onions.
Oh, this is exciting to see them.
Okay. And then a little bit of this guy, right?
All right. Tiffany's going first.
Yeah, you like it. I recall you like your spicy levels.
Okay.
All right.
Grab an apple.
I'm gonna put wings on it.
Oh, wings too. Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, they have the oregano on the table too. Like if you want to put a little like oregano
Are
on
you
there.
gonna put it?
And there's some red pepper if you want to take another like.
Oh, that's never okay.
Okay.
All
here we
right. First bite.
go. It's good.
What are you tasting?
Well, the fact that I put the spoon directly into the chile.
A lot of the chile?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right. What about you?
Of spice.
Okay. Isn't it cool to have the little pieces of masa in there too? It's like a interesting way to.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And then the more lime, the better. I don't know if we can ask for some more limes, but
The textures. There's so many fun textures in here. You know? It's so hearty.
Yeah, well, that hominy itself, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you get the kernel that's still in there, so you have this like sharp bite, but
Right.
it's so soft and has this nice chew. That ultimately is going to provide a nice like elasticity to tortilla once you grind this hominy to make your masa. And you can see the masa. I mean, she has a bag of masa over there. Like that's.
I wonder if they'll let us.
This looks transitions to that in like seconds. And then, you know, the metro is definitely expanding down here. I haven't ridden it, but I know a lot of people that do. And yeah, this view is just phenomenal. Yes, raspados. Or what? No, maybe she's doing esquitas.
Oh,
She's
man.
doing something in there.
Oh, esquite, man. That
Champurrado?
reminds me of ensenada when we get out of church.
There's another little taco window right here that's super cute. Here, let's sit on the bench with the
Yeah,
pigeons.
right? So here we are in the, what is it called?
This is Mariachi Plaza.
Mariachi Plaza.
This is also a stop on the metro and home to everyone, honestly. During the afternoon or like evening hours, you'll find people gathering here and playing chess. Actually, you can see some older gentlemen back there already gathering, and people just get together and, you know, shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit. This really reminds me of Mexico.
It does, and I love that. I mean, Boyle Heights is very much like Little Mexico.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why you come here for all the good Mexican food.
I know.
And it really does give a different definition to a hole in the wall. Like, yes is a perfect example. Like, just a grandmother cooking for anybody that is willing to walk into the door.
I love it. You know, we both, as Mexican American here, we grew up in a area that didn't have a lot of Mexican.
True.
How was it for you, like growing up? Like where did you try to seek your culture? And I mean, obviously through your own family, but like, do you look back and you're like, did you even notice, or was it when you were older? You're like,
did.
actually, like, what's that about?
So I was very blessed and spoiled.
I love that.
Because my parents, that was the conversation from the beginning. Like I am ESL, like believe it or not. Like my parents didn't start speaking English to me until I was 5 because I was in kindergarten and not doing well, and they freaked out and panicked and was like, we're only speaking English. And so I kind of lost my my.
You're like overcompensated, huh? You're just like, I gotta know this English.
Exactly.
Really well.
You gotta know the English.
Yeah, it is. 'Cause you don't have the accent. You felt, I don't know, felt self-conscious. I don't know. I did.
But with that said, like I definitely being self-conscious, but also like growing up in an area where you start to realize like there's not a lot of people like me.
Yeah.
You know.
Until you met me.
But yeah, no, exactly. But my parents did a really good job about, taking us to Mexico or bringing us to LA because we had family there.
Yeah.
So at a very early age, I knew family was important because we would drive miles, hours to visit family.
Yeah.
But also to eat. Like they really made it, part of our upbringing to know that for us to know that there was a world outside of Irvine. And by us, I mean me and my siblings. So there would be a random, Saturday day where we'd just wake up and my mom was like, let's go to Mexico.
I love that.
And we would just drive the 2 hours to Tijuana.
Okay.
Usually we'd go to Puerto Nuevo, Rosarito, and have some langosta, homemade tortillas, or some tacos. Sometimes we'd just go for some like good Mexican food.
Yeah.
And walk around and then watch the sunset and drive back. And just made like a day out of it. And the flip side, I had a lot of family in LA, and we would come up, and my mom loved Placita Olvera, which is another popular spot in downtown right across from the Union Station. And so being exposed to that at a young age, you're like, oh, like I see, there's many different worlds and many different variations of this cuisine that I'm familiar with, this Mexican cuisine. I remember being like, you can't go to any restaurant and find the same lobster and flour tortillas or even the style of beans that you see in Mexico. Or coming to LA and being like, oh, I don't really see grilled cactus, anywhere in Orange County, which is nopales, which is a very popular dish in Mexican cuisine. But, I realized that the restaurants in Orange County weren't really offering that. So I think, growing up, I knew I was able to recognize those differences and appreciate it, honestly. And maybe not as much as I do now, but there's definitely a level of appreciation.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a particular level of woke at that time.
And speaking about being woke a little, you were actually, now I'm like shifting gears real quick because it's hard to have this next question, have at a restaurant. So, but like a level of wokeness, so you actually kind of came out before I did, that was like a big deal. I was like, wait, what? Like, and I was like, oh my God, like that was really cool. Like I really admired you. Like I was like, oh man, Brigitte has like the freaking...
I am, I think that I reached, maybe it was like that teenage angst. I definitely remember being 16, 17. I told you that the helicopter.
Yeah, this is welcome to Boyle Heights. We're in Boyle Heights, y'all.
This is the scene.
Okay. Yeah, so how was that for you coming out? How old were you?
So I think I was like 16, 17 when I realized that, I was attracted to both sexes, but I didn't know like the definition of it, and I think I ignored it, honestly. Like I thought like, oh no, I just think she's really pretty and have an appreciation for that. But not until I started getting older, I was like, I think I have like other feelings I can't explain. And it was in, I think it was some kind of sex ed course that we took, or I think there was like a psychological course. I don't remember it, but I remember being introduced to bisexuality, like bisexuality, and then they spoke about being gay and lesbian, and I knew what being gay and lesbian was, but I never knew this word bisexual, and I was like, oh, there's a term, and I remember reading about it and being like, I couldn't relate to it, and I just felt like this moment of being woke, of like, wow, and
did it scare you?
A little bit. It made me nervous because I knew that, like, oh my God, I relate to this. This means that yes, I
what does this mean?
I am queer, and so much so that I had that conversation with my parents, and that's when it got a little scary because being a Latina, we grew up in this age where we were Catholics, and the Catholic Church frowned on on gay and lesbian in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
So I was, again, the teenage angst, I was getting, I just was wanting change. At the time, I was going to Northwood, and I remember being like, I just need to get out of this scene and find something new. And
Can I stop you there real quick? Because I'm like, who knew that like we could have like talked to each other about this?
Yeah,
Isn't that the weirdest thing about
No.
this is that we couldn't like, why didn't, like I was scared
because
as hell,
there was no
but-
sense of community. I felt it. It's like we had all known each other, but this idea of like community of coming together and expressing like, there's also a big stigma on going to therapy when we were younger, And so finally, I think when I like shifted high schools and went to this school that was a lot more diverse and a lot more welcoming to LGBT, that's when I was like, I need to start expressing who I am.
Oh my God.
So I sat my parents down and it was the first time I'd ever seen the second time I'd ever seen my father cry. And it was a really hard conversation. And to them, the immediate response was, why not just only date men? And I felt immediately like, I felt like I was being asked to hide a part of who I am, or like, felt like this sense of shame. And that frustrated me. That made me mad. I was already an angry teenager. So from then, came this like period of rebelling. But I think that made me want to be true to myself even more, and it's like you can't control love or who you meet, and you can't put a filter on that, and I think we're so blessed to be in this world where you have more of a availability to choose who you want to be with, and I was ready to take that on by the horns.
God. Wait, can I go back real quick to the moment you're like, I'm going to tell my parents, and you're 16, like, what were you hoping to get out of that conversation, truthfully?
Acceptance. Yeah. I mean, at that point, I think I was 17. I was like, I was either about to graduate high school or I was about to enter college. So I definitely had this like perception of like, okay, if this goes south, if I get like kicked out, I'm entering my 18-year-old like adult phase. So I had this idea of like this could go really badly. Like my family can disown me, which I really thought was going to happen. And at the end of the day, like they were just like wanting to meet me in the middle. And other things happened down the line, and I think moving to New York definitely allowed me to just
your space.
Get my space. But I love my family now. I feel like we all go through. I've loved them always, of course.
Always.
But
love is always there, but it takes time for them to process, for you to process, and somehow meet in the middle where you feel like you are not sacrificing your truth, and that they're not also. Not necessarily sacrificing their truth, but that they've come to a point where they realize like that this is just a part of you and it doesn't have to be this like negative thing or disruptive thing. It's like they're getting to really know you, because really what you did at 16 or 17 was like you invited them into your world.
Exactly.
You didn't have to do that.
And
but
honestly,
you were that close to them, dude. Like honestly, that comes from a place of close. You're probably fucking close to them, dude.
I will say that, like being having this sense of openness, and I think breaking that negative stigma too. Kind of going into mental health. Like mental health is all about self-love. Like that's the foundation, and I think that. Although I practice self-love now at an early age, I kind of got this like glimpse of self-love and was like, well, if I can't accept me, then who is?
Ooh, so, damn, you were like ahead of your time.
So I just felt like there are already parts of my body I'm uncomfortable with, and if it's not this idea of who I'm becoming or who I am, then
What do you think like fosters that? Like looking back, you're like, do you think there's a person? Do you think there's a something in your life that you think kind of?
I mean, I think. I think that there were multiple people, but also just the time that we grew up in. We grew up in the time of MySpace and LiveJournal.
Oh yes,
I remember I had a LiveJournal. And at the time I was not in therapy, so LiveJournal is very much like my personal diary that the world can see. It was very therapeutic, and I found on LiveJournal that were other people that were kind of like expressing themselves, and I was like, oh my gosh, like people can express themselves so easily, like why can't we all? And I think that coming from a big family, my mom's 1 out of 9, my dad's 1 out of 10. Like I do have queer aunt and uncles, and although I may have not, realized that they weren't on the best side of all of our family at the time, like my parents always welcomed them, and even they weren't like super accepting to it, but like they knew like this is my brother, this is my sister, and we love them so much that we're just maybe gonna ignore those other parts. And the older I got, I was like, no, we can't ignore those.
Them.
Yeah.
What are you
that's the best
teaching
part.
too?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're the best part.
So, being, I think from the years 15 to 22 were super important, like that coming of age. And I think that privileged to have a big family and privileged to see both sides of what not and what to do.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm really rethinking right now, like our high school, like the time in our high school, because remember when we all remember when you all went to another school, and it's like, it's kind of crazy how even like I know I hate to go back to this, but like how even internally as good friends, like we weren't able to kind of truly, we were so afraid of, like to create that safe space to be like, hey, you know what, I am going through this. Yeah. Because now I'm thinking, you left right when I was figuring out that I might be gay, and I'm like, who do I talk to?
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, I could have talked to you, man.
Yeah, no.
But then it just was a different time.
It was such a different time, and like I think that too is that internal battle of figuring it out yourself, because it took me a while to get to even at this point, and even then, like it wasn't until that transition in high school and finding like a different group of friends where for them it already was like, oh, these are new people that don't know me. I can very much come in and they don't know my past, and I think for us, it's like we all grew up together with very similar foundations.
Oh yeah,
and it almost like made it
even harder
to be like, So, like, what do you think of this? And we weren't asking each other those questions. We were like a weird bunch, and we embraced that, and I think that we did good at that, but we're well with that. And I think there were different points where it's like, all right, like, where do we start pushing the boundaries? Like,
and I was super Catholic, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You probably noticed that probably. I don't know if you did.
And that too, like even just being, I went to Catholic high school.
Oh,
so
yeah.
having to be more involved with the church, I saw that question come up again, what is acceptance? What does that mean? And what does that mean to me? And it's hard to have those conversations, but I think, going back to self-love, once you realize that you need to take those moments to really be true to yourself, is so important because life is so short. That too, experiencing death. I mean, I experienced death at an early age. My grandfather passed away when I was 8. And I remember that's the first time I had the sense of like mourning, like, oh, this is sad. I'm not going to see this person again. But the more you experience death, like the more you see like life is so sacred and so short.
Yes.
And I have met people in my life that never lost anybody in their lives.
Wow.
Or they'll lose that first person, and you really just see them going through the motion. It changes you completely. It changes us as human beings to recognize that idea of we can be gone like that. So what are you doing with your life now? How are you representing yourself and loving yourself in a way that's gonna maybe make an impact for one person or another, or a family member? How are you going to be remembered? And if it's this act of that person really loved themselves to the fullest, like, that's great. That is.
And how are you taking care of yourself? Like, I think sometimes we also exhaust a lot of our energy on others that we forget. Like, you need your own energy so that you can small moments. Moments.
Honestly, it's so hard, especially in city life. Like we're always on the go, and you have to take small moments. I take small moments to stretch in the morning. I'll take small moments to write down before I go to bed, or sometimes when I wake up. And I'm not doing a whole journal entry, but I'm like, I feel sad today. Like I'll write down 2 positive things. I think that practice of negative thoughts, I try to practice every negative thought that I get. I have to tell myself 2 positive things.
I love that.
So just to kind of, and even if it's the same things, and I just read recently Atomic Habits, and I love the part where he's explaining, like, don't say like I have to wake up early. Say I get to wake up early. Like I actually get to open my eyes and get out of bed today.
People don't realize that.
They don't.
Waking
I have
up is
legs to get out of bed.
Yes. Sometimes you have to bring it down to that level of
You
like,
do.
because life is.
You have to humble yourself.
Yeah.
You have to constantly humble yourself, and these are the moments where you remember, like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, even, you know, being in a kitchen can be like a war zone sometimes because you're working in small spaces in these rushes where it's literally hot. You have this team who's like family. So, like, families, we bicker and we banter.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're feeding people. You're doing something really cool and beautiful, you know. And you have to remind yourself, like, it's food.
It's food. And it's good food.
It's good
So
food.
speaking of food, we should probably get on to the next one.
Yeah. Come on in.
Oh, I'm going up first. Oh, this is cute.
You're her standing in here, and this is a little tortillas. Hola, ¿qué tal? Somos cuatro. Cuatro.
Van a venir. Let me grab them. They're still outside. Oh.
Here?
Yeah.
So, la parrilla means like baby grill. So this like thing here is what they're known for, is bring out these small grills
you.
with like all the meats and goods on there.
Literally.
But
Gracias. No, está bien. Well, now we are here at La
parrilla.
Parrilla. What does a parrilla mean? So
Parrilla is a little cast iron skillet. There's actually a photo of it up here, and basically it's kind of like you bring it out to the middle of the table. It's steaming hot. You put your meats on there. Honestly, you can mix seafood on there too, just depending on what you're in the mood for. And then everybody eats off of this skillet you serve yourself, and yeah, it's kind of like a centerpiece. It's also showstopper. So you know when it's walking through the dining room, like all the aromatics walk past every table.
You're like, whoa. Yeah, everyone always looks at the parrilla.
But today we're just going with some standard machaca. I love machaca. Machaca's shredded beef. Traditionally can be cured beef. It's a dish that I think that you find in a lot of cuisines. Like in the Philippines, for example, they'll use like salt cured, what's it called, like corn beef hash.
Okay.
That's kind of like our equivalent. And it's scrambled in eggs, and then we're also gonna have some chilaquiles.
Oh, you got them? Yes. I love chilaquiles.
Chilaquiles divorciados. The reason why they're called divorciados is because you get to experience both red and green.
Oh.
Do you usually eat red or green?
I usually, actually, I love green.
Green, yeah. I like green too.
Yeah.
I like green too.
But I like that we're gonna have a little bit of both. Okay, cool.
Green usually has this nice like zestiness to it, and then the red has a little bit more of like heat or like a tomato base. But I'm excited to have both.
I'm very excited.
Chilaquiles is also probably my favorite Mexican dish to cook because it's one of the easier ones.
Yeah.
It's a healthy amount of tostada chips, and then you just drench them in your favorite salsa. Put some eggs on top. Also, again, going back to the repollo that you put on your pozole, you can put some of that on your chilaquiles. So
the chilaquiles at your dad's restaurant.
Oh yeah, those are unbeatable.
So plugging them in Tacos Ensenada and Lake Forest.
Yeah.
This place right here is like beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure people can see.
It's kitschy. It's family friendly. It's been around for. I think the space has really been around since the 40s, I want to say, but the actual restaurant, I think, has been family owned for maybe like shy of 40 years.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I mean, I honestly had an uncle that told me he remembered coming here when he was younger, and like my grandparents would bring them to this part of LA a lot. So yeah, just a lot of history. You know, these walls could.
I know. I'm sure.
Right?
One of the right behind us is an actual bar, like a bar.
Yeah, no.
Like drinks. I'm like, is it too early for a beer? A michelada?
Never. No, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I'm
right?
like, maybe. I'm like.
And I also love the you know, the stained glass, like very like ode to the 20s, almost with the fruit stained glass fixtures.
We'll do some B-roll afterwards. Yeah, we'll show it. But yeah, it's it feels very homey, and you just know you're gonna get like authentic
For
Mexican
sure,
food
which
here.
I think that's the authenticity in Mexican cuisine, or at least the way people see it. It's like, okay, what feeling does this bring to me? Like, does it bring me that feeling of being at home? And really, any restaurant can do that in their own way, and this one just happens to be a very comfortable, like bright, vibrant feel. I think the poster boards are definitely like an ode to the decor of this place. Whereas you get other restaurants where it's just like, no, let's just focus on the food, which I feel like Damian very much
Damian
is
is like
representative of just hospitality and food.
Oh, so I'm excited to ask you this one question. I kind of already teased you when we were walking around, so I feel comfortable asking.
I like being teased.
Okay, here we go. So I'm thinking by now you see how well she knows about food and culture and restaurant and culture and everything. So can you describe to me what may happen in the future as far as you owning your own restaurant? What is the food gonna be? What is the atmosphere gonna be? Do you have an idea?
I do. So I mentioned I love seafood, and that's definitely going to be my focus. Is I think we're so lucky to be in California and have the ocean right there. We're so lucky to share a border with Mexico and have. Ensenada right there, which some of the best seafood comes from. So I definitely want it to be seafood, and I want it to be Mexican. I want to be stay true to my roots. But with that said, I do like the idea of we're very much in this era where people are. I hate to use the word fusion.
Okay, go on.
but I want to bring different seasonings and different cooking methods from around other coastal regions, and apply those to Mexican style seafood.
Anything come to mind?
I'm a huge fan of stuffed octopus from
Never
Portugal.
had that. What?
So in Portugal, they're really big fans of canned fish. And I actually just learned this from the chef that I worked with, because he went to Portugal and brought back all this canned fish. And one of them was this stuffed octopus head, or squid head rather, and it was stuffed with chorizo, or you can stuff them with even more fish, a tuna style fish with seasoning. And you just eat these out of the can, just picnic.
What?
But I recently went to a restaurant, they had that on the menu, and I swear the canned version was so much better. I loved it. So something like that, applying that to a dish.
Okay.
And accepting that challenge of how do I make you feel like you're in this dinner setting, but like you're in Portugal eating this beachside out of a can.
That's very unique. I think that's
definitely.
Gonna be really cool
Definitely. And then I think aside from that, going on a business venture is all about, that real estate, the location, the size.
Real estate.
It really is, especially being in LA. Location is everything. Where are people going to see you?
¿Chilaquiles divorciados?
Sí, aquí el centro está perfecto. Gracias.
Machaca con huevo.
Gracias, muchas gracias. I hope you like your eggs runny. I did the medium.
Otros dos platitos de-
Perfecto.
Sí, gracias.
Gracias. Y tortillas de harina y maíz, por.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we're tortillas.
Yes.
Girl.
So here we have the chilaquiles divorciados. As you see, we get both sides of,
I love that.
of the chilaquil world with red sauce and green sauce. Sour cream, I know you like sour cream.
Oh my God, yes I do, girl. How did you know that?
But this is my favorite, is the machaca. So again, the shredded cured beef with eggs. And it doesn't have to be cured, honestly. I don't know if they cure theirs, but it definitely has that crispy texture as
I love
they
that.
do.
I'm so excited. And then we're gonna get some homemade tortillas
To go with it as well.
Harina.
Yeah. And they make, I don't know if she's up there right now, but they make their tortillas up front, which is my favorite part, just walking in and seeing the
watching them do
señora
that.
just perfecto, gracias.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here they are. Boom, look at those. They have the little the grill marks on them. Yeah.
And then the puff, the bubble.
Poke the bubble.
Oh yeah, let's hold one. Oh yeah.
Have you ever done the tortilla challenge?
Oh, it's hot as hell.
It's really hot.
Oh my God. What's a
Keep 'em
tortilla?
warm.
What's the tortilla?
So, you know that game when you're supposed to drink some water and
I'm gonna get the flour.
and your friend holds the tortilla and you're supposed to smack him with the tortilla, but you can't release the water from your mouth.
Do you want to do it?
No, we can't do it here.
Why not?
We can do it so we're not here.
Oh, okay.
Because we're gonna make a mess.
Oh, okay.
And the tortilla's hot. You also
never
don't want
heard of
this
that.
on your face.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in 10 or 10 was too hot.
Dig in because the tortillas are getting cold. So, well, everybody, get in. So I'm gonna try some of the machaca. I'm gonna use the flour tortilla.
You honestly, just get in there.
Oh
and-
yeah,
and
you're right. I'm just gonna get in there
your
from
little-
my
your little
my hand. Hell yeah. I'm gonna put some beans in there too.
Yeah, do the beans. I'm gonna dip mine in some salsa, some salsa roja over here.
It's
Put it in
really
my
hot. The
face.
salsa.
Gracias.
Oh wow, the red one's really good. Aquí está.
Gracias.
Provecho.
Muchas gracias.
I used to put this on top of here. Sometimes it usually comes with it. Yeah. Yep. That's perfect.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna try some of this chilaquiles with the sour cream.
Flour? Sure. Thank you. This is the, I'm good. This is good.
I'm gonna get some of that yolk. Chilaquiles.
So yum.
Which one is the red and the green is this and that?
Yeah, so the red is usually like the red is usually like tomato based with chiles. The green is like lime tomatillo, which is like a lighter. It's a green tomato.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Really good.
Or it's not really a green tomato, but it looks like a green tomato.
Oh wow.
Gotta get
That
some
sour
like Anna,
cream. You know, Anna doesn't like sour cream
Really? Oh,
because her
a lot of
mom
people
used to.
don't.
Well, her mom used to put sour cream in the rice and like would make her eat it. And she's like, I don't like it. She's like, eat it. And now she's like got this really weird relationship with sour cream. And she's like, I don't want to eat it. All right, now I'm gonna put some rice in here. I've never really had like machaca. I mean, no,
Really?
I've heard of it. I mean, but I never choose it. So I'm like, oh, this is good. It's like,
It's really good. I love that.
have you tried the machaca yet?
No, but the sour cream is really good. I don't know why, but it's so yummy.
It's Mexican sour cream.
So creamy. I've been getting the wrong sour cream.
Mexican sour cream is usually a little like finer and like you honestly you can get it in the like 4 in aisle at like Albertsons.
Yeah, which one do you get? Which crema do you get?
I forget the brand, but it's just the one that's like crema mexicana.
Yeah.
And it's like oh my god, I totally forget the brand.
I've never actually had chilaquiles with the repollo. I like
Really?
it. It has that crunch.
Yeah, no.
So now I'm gonna you're gonna be shocked, but I'm gonna make a burrito with the chilaquiles in it.
Do it.
Have you ever done that before? Actually, like a burrito?
I've seen it.
No, I don't think so, but I'm gonna do it right now. Oh, in Mexico City, there's tortas de chilaquiles.
Oh, yeah.
Milanesa. You have heard
Yeah.
of that? Yeah. Have you been there?
Mexico City? Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I'm actually going back in August. I'm going to Oaxaca for the first time with work.
Oh
I'm super excited for that. That'll be fun. We're gonna do like a little mezcal.
Shut
like,
up. Oh my god, that's amazing. So here we are. We're back.
La Palma.
La Palma. Did you know that there's one in Orange County? There's some in Orange County?
I did, but now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know. Is it the same one?
Yes, it's exactly.
Same one.
Yeah, I was like, oh
Okay.
shit.
Okay,
So I've
yeah.
already had it. I obviously do enjoy this, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
Yeah, no, it's a really small burrito. You can
Literally.
smack somebody with it.
Yeah, you wanna?
You mad. Burrito
Oh,
was
be careful with that burrito. Did you know that? And you used to hit me. Remember in middle school? Do you remember that? She used to freaking smack me. Do you remember that?
So abusive.
Do you remember this? Oh yeah, it was a squeezer. Sorry, it was a squeezy. She was squeeze, a little squeeze.
It's like a stress ball squeeze, not a hit.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I retract that.
I was a very anxious. I still am a very anxious person.
Yeah?
All right. I think I'm gonna do like a
Yeah,
dip.
let's do it.
Like
Which
a-
one did you
a
get
dunk.
for the peeps?
I got chicharron.
Oh, chicharron. Okay.
So chicharron is pork skin. So let's see how this goes.
Okay. I got birria.
That's really good. Texture is chewy. Spicy.
It's spicy.
Very spicy. Will not be needing this.
How did I forget it was this spicy? Oh my god.
You can see the ooze in there.
Are you a
That's
burrito
cheddar.
girl? Are you like a burrito girl? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
I'm more of a taco girl. But we can talk about it.
so what do you have against?
sorry.
So what do you have against burritos then?
It's commitment. It's a commitment. And that's why I like that these are small. Because with tacos, you know, you don't have to decide between birria and pastor. You can get one of each. But with the burrito, you
That
have
is
to-
commitment.
Yeah.
I never
You have
thought
to
like
commit
that.
to just one.
All right, well, we're gonna let the crew eat before it gets cold, so you can put the camera down. It's okay. You can bring it down. It's okay. Naoki's very committed. Let's film you trying it. Let's go. Because you've never had this, and you've been dying.
Desarrollo?
Desabrada.
Desabrada.
Shredded
Okay.
beef.
Let's see. So this features, it's like the birria, but I believe it has a green chile and it has potatoes.
Oh.
So here we go. So the other thing I really wanted to try is their tortillas at La Palma just like look so fresh and good. Like check it out. It's like that translucent kind of.
Yes,
I
which
love.
is what you find in Mexico, for the
really?
record.
Okay,
Yes.
A little more doughy.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Do you know how to make them?
I know the process, but
Should we try to make them one of these days?
never made them. I tried
should
to
try to
make
make
my
them.
own like corn tortillas, but
Do you taste the spice?
I sense a little bit of habanero in this.
Do you want to bite this?
Yeah.
Do it.
How much? How much do you dare me to bite?
A quarter. I don't know.
oh wow,
Wow. I'm sure you heard the crunch.
she went in, no questions asked.
Are you a burrito or taco girl?
That's a really tough. That's probably one of the toughest questions in life.
Brigitte knew instantly.
I think ultimately I'm a burrito because it's like
Oh.
you can get everything in it, you know. And I think maybe you said this earlier. You said something like, "Well, I guess it works with both burritos and tacos." Like pizza. It's like you could do any style, any different. But I do think I love rice and like the idea of like rice and beans, and then everything else. So the combination of it and all to go in like one hand-sized, you know, pocket.
Definitely. I mean, the tortilla is a vessel, right? And
Yeah.
even the like progression of the tortilla has come a long way. Like being a Mexican, we grew up with maseca, which is the flour that you find at every Mexican grocery store, right? What we don't know is that maseca is like a monopoly. They very much own what are the big tortilla, like Mission tortillas that you see at the grocery store, get at all. So in Mexico, you don't find a lot more like independent, you know, like those that masa is like overproduced at this point. And it's not as good for you, I guess you could say. So there are a lot more masa companies coming out making their harina, like Masienda, and there's the Tehachapi Green Project, which like has all these crafts, and they're trying to, you know, cultivate a different experience for everybody. Like, you know, changing the conversation of farm to table, because everything should be farm to table, right?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything ultimately is.
We hope.
But yeah, maseca has just become a bit of a mafia arena.
So when we were growing up, we've all known each other since middle school, actually. What do you remember eating when we were like in middle school?
Like when we would hang out
I used to
together.
love pizza days, Northwood Pizza.
Northwood
I love
Pizza.
drenching that pizza with ranch.
We're talking about high school, Northwood High School or Northwood Pizza?
Northwood Pizza.
Northwood Pizza.
Northwood Pizza at Northwood High School.
Oh.
And getting
Yeah.
or like picking up like a fat slice of pizza, like super cheesy. I remember drenching ranch all over it, like a nice thin layer. Oh, that's my favorite.
Did you never review?
Northwood Pizza all the way. And Del Taco.
Delta Coke.
Delta Co, yeah. And Carl's. Like, just all of the places on the Yale Plaza.
Such a beautiful day.
And we're both wearing black. We didn't even.
I'm always black is my.
Oh, that's
life
your color?
uniform. It matches my soul.
Not hitting it, right? Okay. It matches your soul. Which is ironic because look, you're laughing and you're so, I don't know. You're,
Yeah, a dark sense of humor that comes out to the ones I'm closest to.
oh my God, you're so funny.
But, you know, life is short. You gotta smile.
I love it. I feel like your energy is so like, you're just like, I definitely feel like you're just like, you're in the moment and you're just like grateful.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the vibe. I feel like that's your vibe. You're just like, you're like, hey, like
Yeah.
what's, you know?
I think I'm humbled, you know. I'm so very grateful to know that I can open my eyes, I can see, like having sight is just something to be so thankful for, having taste and smell. Like,
Oh my God, it's
just
huge.
those five senses and you know, especially in this industry or my industry, you know, I just feel super blessed to be able to do these things, to use my hands to cook. And I think that, you know, easier said than done. Like every day, of course, is challenging. We all have our battles. And I think that the more that we remind ourselves of the positive, the more of a positive outlook you have, right?
Yeah.
I think I very much grew up in this world where I was depressed. I very much was feeding myself with all this negativity, like what if, or I'm not good enough, or you know, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not, you know, attractive enough, whatever that was. And then, you know, the older I got, it's like, what does it matter? What does that truth
What helped
matter
you though?
to
What
me?
was happening? You think that was sort of steering you in that place of like, what does it matter?
I think COVID did for a lot of us, honestly, and I think that I started to have this self-awareness. I think in 2014, I lost someone that I was very close to, a friend and my roommate at the time, who very much had that same outlook in life. And she was older. I was 27 at the time, and she was turning 40.
Oh, she was young.
Yeah, she
Well,
was
that's young.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
She was like older. I kind of saw her like as a bigger sister, you know. But she just had this so like chill, like cool outlook to life of like, you know, just be thankful and happy for what we do have. And you know, we'd practice yoga together, and I think that, you know, doing yoga very much like I found it to be you know, very spiritual and you know, had the spiritual awakening, I guess you could say.
I love that.
So, you know, after she passed, I started to practice yoga, and I remember this one time having this beautiful like session, and I just felt so good, and I started to cry after, and it was this moment of like I never felt like self-love in that way, you know, like the instructor was very much like, hug yourself, like you've got this power.
You laugh, but it's like, you know, let's talk about that for a second. You give hugs to other people, but it's like, we need the hug
We do
for
not hug
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah, no, we cannot.
Like, you know, like give ourselves that affection. It's like, how do you
Totally.
turn it back? And I love that you had that moment.
And I think we laugh because we think like, oh, this is silly, you know? And like you have these moments where you like actually like, I remember like actually like hugging myself and be like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, like you holding yourself.
You know, you do. And it's also this idea of like, not only holding yourself, but like seeing the older you kind of think of the younger you and like going to that person and being like I wish I could, you know, me now could go back 10 years, even 5 years and be like, you know, it's gonna be okay. Like, you know, we are lucky to have our friends and families and, you know, a beating heart, most important.
Yeah.
So, it's like, so then the bigger question is what are you gonna do with that beating heart, right? And I think that's where these stresses of the world come. But if you ground yourself and remember to be thankful for what you do have, I think that's what drives me now. And I hope that that's what what continues to drive me as we continue to grow. Because I mean, we're still young, you know.
We're still very young.
We might have heads full of grays, but age is just a number.
Yeah. You mentioned about the negativity and the positivity, and earlier today at the Mariachi Plaza, you talked about how you write, you think one bad thing or negative thing, but then you write two positive.
Exactly, or think two positive things.
Or think two positive
So,
things.
for example, like I'll, you know, it could be something in the morning, like, you know, I'll put on a pair of jeans, like, oh, like, damn it, these are too tight for me now. But like maybe even just in a negative way, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't nice. And like, all right, like I have jeans to put on, you know, that's like a positive. Or, you know, like the easier one is I woke up this morning, you know, I got to open my eyes this morning. So
that's huge.
It is, and especially as we see our families getting older and them aging, and you start taking more to heart that advice that your parents gave you when you were younger that made no sense to you.
Yes.
Made no sense to you. You're like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Sure, mom.
Yeah, exactly.
And then here you are quoting them, and you're like, damn, like all those sayings are true.
They're true, and I think that they've like, you know, molded us. Like we've, you know, we've learned how to value life, and like, you know, I respect our friendship so much because it's like we can go years without talking, and here we are.
I know, dude.
By.
I'm looking at 12-year-old Bridget.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're purple. I don't know why
Brigitte,
Bridget.
Yeah, Brigitte, formerly known as Bridget.
I don't know why I always remember you with a purple winter breaker.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That one was from the Limited 2.
Okay.
That was one of my cooler winter breakers.
Oh, okay. I do remember this.
Black, that was from Costco. Yeah, I always had that too. You know, my mom always made me wear. Like I was very self-conscious in my arms. I'd always wear jackets, and my mom always made me wear dresses because she thought it was like the lady thing to do.
Right.
So I felt like putting a jacket on would like make me feel a bit more casual, and like
I feel that.
too, you know, we grew up with these like things that our parents want us to do that make you feel like you're less than. And I mean, that's not to say that's their intent. I would never think that was like my mom's intent.
But it's what they grew. It's their limitations and like what they grew up and what they saw, and so they're just carrying it forward, and we're just challenging it, and we're looking towards ourselves to fill in some of those gaps, and that's okay.
Challenge the construct, definitely. Yeah, and I think that's it's healthy to ask questions. You know,
I think it's super healthy.
As queer, as being a part of the LGBTQ community, it's. You have to remember to ask questions. Like, remember that it's not okay to just take an answer for what it is. Like, always ask for the why. You know, the why is very important.
Yeah, so. I love that. Oh my God.
I'm so glad that we got to do this.
Me too. I'm so full. I didn't know I was going to get so full.
Me too.
But we ate so good. And I'm so grateful for you, our friendship, and for your time today.
Yes.
Because this is her day off, and she's hanging out with us today. And her dog Blue over here. But
no such thing as a day off when you love doing what you do. Right? Like, I think that it's healthy for all of us to continuously be active.
Yes.
And, you know, what to say, you can sleep when you're dead. I kind of understand what that means.
It's true. It's kind of true, yeah.
I think I slept a lot through my college years and younger years, and now all I want to do is be up and be awake. And
I love that. Would you say that? Would it be safe to say that you do live your life very with great intention and consciously?
Totally. Very much these days. Yeah, definitely lots of intention. And I think I learned that through yoga, because in a practice, no matter if it's a 5-minute practice or an hour practice, you set your intention. You know, like what am I dedicating this practice towards? Is it towards self-love, or is it towards just wanting to put forth positive energy, or am I just dedicating it to somebody? You know, is there someone in my mind like that I want to put this energy forth in my practice?
That's beautiful.
So I think that intent is everything, and more importantly, like breathing. yoga surrounds yourself around, paying attention to your breath. And sometimes we forget that we're breathing and forget that, okay, maybe a deep breath would really benefit me right now.
Gosh, yes.
So that's super important too.
That's so important. These are great nuggets. I'm curious because all of this is so wise. So I'm curious. This is something that I personally struggle with. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yes.
But I've always, it's something I continue to work on is like managing my emotions. I tend to feel a lot of things, And growing up in a Mexican household, like you can't really feel, I was told to just feel like you're okay. And if you feel anything outside of that, like get back in line and you're okay, And so now as an adult, I'm sort of understanding, and honestly through the help of my wife too, it's like understanding like, it's okay that I'm feeling sad or mad or anxious, because it's crazy how in life you can feel mad or anxious at the same time feel such joy. Like it's all part of the human experience. And I'm trying to feel like it's okay to feel all these things. Like, how do you feel about emotions and managing them?
It is. I mean, I've always been very emotional. I mean, I'm a Virgo sun, Cancer moon, if that means anything.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
My Virgo sun very much keeps me like grounded and organized.
Like my dad?
And then my Cancer, exactly. And my Cancer moon is very emotional. Cancers are known for like, wearing their emotions on their sleeves. And I think that the combination of the two, like I organize my emotions to the extent.
You organize? I love that.
I allow myself time to to really go through the feels. And I think that when I was younger, I would very much fall into these dark spaces, and other people would tell me to like snap out of it.
Yes.
That made me
even more mad, right?
More upset. Like, why can't I feel the way that I want to feel?
Oh, that resonates with me a lot. Yes.
But now I tell myself that, like, I'm like, okay, you can have your 10, 15 minutes, your hour to be depressed, but then like get out there and do it. Do the thing, get some sun.
Allow yourself. Allow yourself.
And that too, I think with the cycle of life, like, when we mourn, like there is no instruction that you're given to in life to say like when someone passes away, this is how you should act.
Right.
And that intent is very much the same. Like you're allowed to cry, you're allowed to laugh, you're allowed to bring back an old memory. There's no right or wrong, and I think life and your emotions should very much be approached in the same manner. Like give yourself the time to process and go through those emotions, but also ask yourself, like, what do I want out of this? Sure, you want to be able to feel, and I think crying is healthy.
It is.
It keeps you balanced and grounded, and I think that those sad moments are rewarding when you have like a really good breaking moment.
Yes, they do. They push you towards a breaking moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
therapy's great.
It's very great, and I think that speaking to people in general, like, this is really beautiful what you do, is talking to other people and understanding what their viewpoint of life is, because we're all different, but and sometimes we're very different, but we're all here doing the same damn thing. We're all just trying to survive this crazy world. So.
I love that. And when you were talking about like allowing yourself and letting yourself feel these emotions and experiencing this, I don't know why I got this sense of like there's true like freedom in doing that for yourself, because I think, I don't know, for me part of that anxiety is like feeling like I have to feel a certain way, and that instigates fear. Like even if you think about grief, for example, like we're all afraid of losing somebody close to us, and why are we're afraid? Because it's like, what are we supposed to feel, or how are we supposed to move on? But in what you just said right now, it's like there's this freedom in being like just allowing yourself to navigate that however you want to process is like this sort of, it kind of takes away the pressure of anything happening in your life that's going to come in your way, because it's like you just live, you just be, you just feel, you just process.
Totally. I mean, I also say this all the time is and I think I said it earlier, you can't take care or you can't give to others if you're not taking care of yourself first. Like that's a big ask to even when starting a family or like trying to mentor somebody or it's hard to give a part of you to other people in a relationship. You know, if you aren't giving that same love to yourself.
Your hugs. Remember the hugs.
Exactly. So take care of yourself, and from there you'll be able to take care of others and learn how to process.
I love that, and I'm really proud of you.
You too.
No.
Of us.
No, yeah, I'm proud of all of us.
Look at this white dove back there.
Oh,
It's so magical.
Oh my God.
This is a moment.
Oh my God. I never see white doves.
Neither do I. It's just like it's either an albino pigeon or I'm sorry, I don't think we're allowed to say albino anymore.
Oh, I don't.
An albinist pigeon.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure, but it is a white pigeon.
So, yeah, or it might be a dove. I think that's a dove.
Okay, the other day I was sitting in the parking lot somewhere and a crow was like next to me and I thought it was gonna fly away, just like whatever. And it literally, I've never experienced this in my life, so now I'm really curious. The last question, I promise. This is the last question.
No.
So this pigeon, this crow, this black crow, opens its mouth up like this, like just literally, and it just looks at me, and it's just like as its freaking mouth open, and it's just looking at me, like we're having eye contact. And a crow never, like to me, a crow just stops and leaves, and I was like, okay, the crow's gonna leave any minute, and it's just looking at me, and I'm like, dude, now I'm getting like, and then I'm like, are you talking to me? I'm like, what is happening right now?
Maybe it was somebody visiting you. Like, we have an angel out there, or some kind of like omen that wanted to stop by and say hello. And it doesn't have to be a bad one just because it's a crow. Like,
right?
You know, these signs come in all different kinds of shapes and colors. And I think animals are very intuitive in that way. I do believe in like past lives.
Yeah.
And, I feel like maybe I was like a sloth in my past life.
Yeah. Wait.
Like to hang around.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you why.
and just eat out whatever's accessible. I like to grow my nails long.
Okay. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, but,
that's cool. Well,
it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, Brigitte. Thank you so much for letting us in your hood, into your story, sharing your story, and I hope some people are inspired. I kind of want to get back into yoga, so I've been talking about it. So
you should. We can do a yoga class together. We'll do the next donuts y tortas.
Ooh, yoga. Oh, okay. Yoga / maybe making some tortillas?
Yeah, exactly. Or we can do like a health food kick and do like, try some of those. We can test out some of those. Have you heard of the like coconut or jicama tortillas?
No. Yeah. Okay, that's on the list. Let's do it.
Perfect, beautiful.
All right, do you want to say bye? Wait, let me see.
Hasta luego, donuts y tortas. Fue un placer.